Hello guys, it's Sharif here with Engadget, and I have here the new Nikon D5200, and I also have here on this side the 5100. The only difference right now is that I have a strap on this one. That's my one, that's my personal camera, and this is the new one, and you can tell that actually these things are visually virtually identical. Many of the changes that have gone on here with the 5200 are actually with the sensor in there, 24 megapixel sensor, which Nikon also promises, in addition to greater resolution, Nikon says will give us more dynamic range from their tests. But there's also a couple of external changes. Let's have a look. So over here we have, there we go, a stereo mic. That was missing on the 5100, and Nikon are sort of really bigging up the video capabilities of this camera. We have more shooting modes now, 60i, 50i, 30p, 25p, 24p, and they're also saying that that the tracking of moving objects has been improved on this camera. If we look over at the top, the actual main controls, as far as I can see, they look basically identical. But when we turn on the GUI, the graphical interface, we can see that Nikon has actually made some changes there. Let's have a look. I haven't got a lens attached on either, so we're not seeing the full amount of information. But you can see it's a sort of more contrasty, I don't know, dare I say it, cartoony interface, which compared to the old one, which may be slightly more friendly actually. We have the sort of the main settings that you have down there. Here you have your aperture, your ISO. The ISO hasn't changed, by the way. We're still going up to 6400 as your sort of as a proper ISO setting. Of course, you can push it higher. I'm going to put a lens on. Just hold on a second. I'll stick on the lens. Okay, so I've just put a lens on both cameras, so we can see a bit more on the interface. And one of the things you can see here is that we actually have now 39 point autofocus, which is enough to actually bring this up significantly in terms of how it compares to models like the D7000. And you know, probably actually a good thing that Nikon, instead of say putting a touchscreen on there, has actually given us some internal improvements, you know, some proper computing improvements and image improvements. And just to say, as a last point, you can see here we still have the same articulating display, which is a real selling point of the 5100 and now the 5200. And I'll just switch into live view so you can, in case you haven't seen this. So in live view mode, you've got real flexibility as to how you angle, whether for self-portraits or whatever. So there we have it, an incremental improvement. Oh, before I go, actually, one last change. Let's have a look on this side. So the ports actually look identical, but what's different is actually now we have compatibility with this port. We have compatibility with the wireless control, which communicates with an iOS and Android device, and that's something that the 5100 doesn't have, and that's, you know, coming with the new Nikon cameras. They tend to come out now with that compatibility. So there you have it, the D5200 from Nikon, out December, priced in the UK, yeah, £720, body only, which actually may be quite a lot more than the 5100, which will continue for a while. So there you go. Anyway, the D5200 from Nikon. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.